When you're hiring an employee, one of the most important things you can do is determine how to classify them. And by classify, I mean, is this an exempt employee or a non-exempt employee? Exempt employees are those that you don't pay overtime to. They get a salary, right? And they show up, they're paid the exact same amount regardless if they work 4 hours that day or 8 hours that day. If they take a sick day, their salary is going to remain the same. In addition to having a flat salary and no overtime and all those sorts of things, there's a duties test. What are the functions of this person's job? Do they report to someone else? Do they manage anybody? Is there independent judgment required in order to perform the functions of their job? And you might think, lawyer, doctor, they're looking at a situation based on their training and experience. They're going to say, okay, I have to provide this kind of treatment to the patient. Non-exempt employee is one who's paid hourly. They're paid at the very minimum, the minimum wage, and you have to pay overtime for anything worked over 8 hours in a day or over 40 hours in a week, or both in some situations. They're entitled to certain kinds of benefits, time off, accumulation, etc. If you're working in fast food or retail or something like that, overwhelmingly, those are going to be non-exempt employees because they're not necessarily going to have to exercise any independent judgment in the exercise of their jobs. The reason misclassification issues are so important is because if you misclassify an employee, you're opening yourself up to an enormous amount of liability. Either direction. So if you classify someone as an employee but they should have been exempt, or vice versa, there are potentially statutory penalties that come there. They could sue you for this misclassification, especially if you rate them as exempt when they should have been non-exempt, because then they were entitled to meal and rest periods that they might not have gotten that come with statutory penalties, along with the fact that you have to compensate them for any of those periods that they missed. You have to pay them at the equivalent of an hour's worth of their normal wages. There might be overtime issues that come into play when you classified them as exempt. You didn't have to pay. But now that they're really an hourly employee, you should have been paying them overtime the entire period. If you have any question at all about how you should classify an employee, you should reach out to an attorney. Call us at Koegle Law. We'd be happy to work through what that job description is and tell you whether or not this person should be classified as exempt or not exempt.